All right, everybody, welcome back to All Things MSP. I know I got started a little bit late. We still have a couple of minutes before the top of the hour, but I was having so much fun talking to our guest in the green room before we get started that I just kind of forgot to get started. So here we are. We're ready to go. You know what? I did forget an alcoholic beverage tonight, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. I did get water though, just to be safe. Let's see. Anything relevant to talk about in the channel this week? Well, we've got the news of the GoDaddy breach, right? That should be interesting, especially if you have clients that are on GoDaddy. So if you do, go ahead and comment, let us know. It also does help if you do comment so that I know that the comments are working. Now, usually I also use this period of time to just go in and make sure that all of those are working. So I will do that as well. Looks like Restream is telling me that my stream is excellent, so that's good. Let me see how Facebook is working. Probably works great as long as I mute. Okay, so that's a comment in Facebook. We'll see if that comes up. And last but not least, let's do one to YouTube. All right, so LinkedIn showed up, Facebook showed up, and YouTube showed up. Awesome. It helps when the technology works, right? It's fun being a technology person and having to deal with this stuff. But it's fun, and of course I do it for you guys because, All Things MSP is here to support the community. We do this for fun. We don't do it to make money or anything like that. We simply are here to promote the channel. And by the way, mentioning promoting the channel, CompTIA CCF is just in a couple of weeks. So if you're going to that, or if you're near the Chicago area and can stop by and you're a CompTIA member, make sure you check that out. If you are not a CompTIA member, you should probably think about doing it. Check that out. And because we've got a lot of great resources. There's tons of resources for members. There's marketing playbooks. There's lots of information on security. There is different groups that you can join. I happen to be the chair of the MSP committee, and we have MSP committee meetings, which kind of sounds weird because it's not really a committee. It's really just every member who's interested in MSP related stuff can come to that meeting, and we have just different topics that we talk about. What we're going to be doing at CCF is we're going to come up with what those topics are going to be for the year. So it should be very interesting. We're going to get to steer kind of where the conversations are going with the MSP committee or community, and should be a lot of fun this year. It's a different format, allowing for a lot more people to get involved, and that's what we're looking for, right? One of CompTIA's main focuses, beyond the training stuff and all that, and beyond the internships and things like that, is the community piece, because we want to build community in the channel, and that's one of the things that is part of their charter. So if you're interested in CompTIA, please reach out to me. More than happy to chat about it. Other than that, we're getting close here. We are already past the top of the hour. We got a couple of people watching, so I appreciate that. If you are watching, go ahead and comment. Let me know you're there. That way I know that other people besides me can comment, of course. And that's important, because if I'm commenting, I'm just commenting to myself. So, put a chat in there if you can. All right. Well, I actually think that because we are a minute past the top of the hour, and I only have 24 seconds left on the clock, I'm just going to roll the intro. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to All Things MSP, the live stream that, we just talk about channel stuff. If you work for an MSP, if you own an MSP, this is a place where, we can just talk every week. I bring guests on here that talk about different specialties within the channel. Today we have an expert in marketing, owned his own MSP, which, a lot of us seems to be where a lot of us started out. But that's a good thing, right? Because we have firsthand experience in what we're talking about. So before I get started, though, I should, because, we try and get as many watchers, followers, subscribers, all of the YouTube and Facebook things. So if you're not familiar, we are a Facebook group. First and foremost, that's kind of how we got this thing started, by the way. Have a little over 4,100 members in the group now. So it's growing pretty well. Really appreciate everybody joining us there. Last year, we did start a company page on LinkedIn. Kind of one of the main reasons is so that we could stream to LinkedIn under kind of the All Things MSP banner rather than just my personal page, that kind of thing. And then, of course, we do have a YouTube channel as well. So like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when we post new videos, all of that fun kind of stuff. Just so, because we don't collect money here. So I collect all of my love from you by likes and subscribes. And if that doesn't move you to, do something, then I don't know what will. But without further ado, let me bring on my guest. A lot of you know him. He is the CEO of Marketopia. And Terry, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
And see, you even get applause. I mean,
wow. The crowd is roaring. I can hardly hear you. It's so loud. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, I probably should have turned that up. But anyway, so tonight I thought, because, basically Terry's been where, a lot of you are sitting. He owned an MSP, successful MSP, I might add, and then transitioned into helping MSPs with their marketing. So first of all, Terry, I guess we probably ought to start out with you just introducing yourself and kind of giving us the brief synopsis of your origin story, if this were a comic book.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm a Florida native. There's not many of us, but I'm certainly one, born and raised in the Tampa area. Went to Atlanta after undergrad, traveled around the world, and then came back because it's a great place to live this time of year. It's 80, 85 degrees every day and 70 at night. So it's a pleasure. I grew up on a horse farm in Brooksville. So it came from humble beginnings, I guess you could say. Went to Florida, got my undergrad degree, went to Ernst & Young Management Consulting, where I had the honor of working with really amazing Fortune 100 corporations and learned quite a bit before deciding to return to my entrepreneurial roots. I started my first company when I was 14. So after undergrad and after Ernst & Young, I decided to come back and be an entrepreneur. Started an MSP while competing my MBA at the University of Florida. And we had some fun. We grew to 49 people in 6.5 years. We didn't have any funding. So we did it, with guerrilla marketing and hard work and that type of thing. Did that for a number of years and then decided to sell the business and I guess you could say retire, but it didn't quite work out, obviously. Ended up starting Marketopia, became, owner-operator with my partner in life and business, Andrea. And we really have had quite a ride. We have north of about 150 people, maybe a little bit more, offices in London, servicing EMEA, Pinellas Park, Tampa Bay, servicing the Americas. And then we just opened an office over in Manila to serve Asia Pacific. So excited about that, excited to make a difference, and excited to be here and contribute all I can for your audience to help them achieve their goals.
That's great. I had not heard about the office in Manila. Of course, I had heard about the office in London. I thought that was really cool when you guys did that. Now, I have to go back and I don't know if we've actually covered this before, but I am a Florida native as well, third generation actually, which is even kind of more rare. But when you had your MSP, what area of Florida was that located?
We started in Tampa,
Okay.
had an office near Tampa Airport, and then added another one in Sarasota, another one in Orlando, another one in Atlanta, and then we started one in Fort Lauderdale before being approached by the largest privately held copier equipment dealer in the States, and or I think it was the third largest at the time. And 2 months later, we were sold. Worked there for about a year. So it was born in Tampa Bay, and
Okay.
we had a heck of a ride covering Florida and Georgia.
So what time frame were you in Orlando then?
I never lived there. Our office, we opened there in 2003 is when we started the MSP. And I would say we were probably in Orlando by about 2006 ish, something like that, five. We opened, and then we started opening kind of a city every year too, to blanket the state. We found a great benefit to geographic coverage, just
Yeah.
providing more robust support to companies with multiple locations. And then there's a lot of credibility that goes with just size.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and that means that you and I were actually competitors. Because I
Wow.
started, yeah, because I started in 2007. I was based in Mount Dora, which I'm sure you know of Mount Dora.
Yeah.
Um, and I covered pretty much Lakeland to Ocala, was kind of the range that we had clients in. So we didn't know it at the time, obviously, but we were competitors uh,
Wow.
during that time
That's
frame.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
that would have been fun. Yeah, we were headquartered. Our Orlando office was headquartered in the Orlando Science Center. We signed them as a
Oh, okay,
client,
yeah.
and we ended up taking office space from them. I love that city. Matter of fact, I'll be there this weekend for a tournament with my kid. A great place to live, great place to raise a family, and then of course it's a great place for out of towners to visit. It's hard to beat Orlando for the tourists.
Yeah, I got tired of 10 months of summer. I did.
Yeah.
But this is not what people are watching this for. So we should probably change the subject to marketing before we lose any
Okay.
more viewers.
All right.
Okay. So, uh, Terry, the first, I want to start out because, and you actually mentioned this in a recent email that I got from you, that 94% of MSPs, I think was the number, um, have questions or have issues or just don't know what to do about their marketing. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you know a lot more about this than I do, but it probably comes from the fact that most of them are technicians turned entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Our industry is filled with great people, I believe, passionate about technology, passionate about service and helping people, that have a unique gift in the way that they understand technology, perhaps more than the common man, and can really make a difference on the service side of the business, helping businesses leverage technology to grow and be more successful. But they don't commonly have a sales and marketing background. A lot of them don't have a business background, so they end up becoming kind of service businesses, not necessarily valuable or fast growing, and can often become lifestyle businesses, unfortunately. Which I wasn't a technical person. I'm not a computer guy. I've never built a computer. I've never racked a server. I've never, I'm nowhere near as capable technically as really any employee I ever had at my MSP. So I wasn't burdened by that. I came in and said, okay, well, you fix the stuff. I'll go get a new customer. And that was my role in the company. And then, of course, making sure the paychecks cashed was kind of the idea. And so it was a benefit to me because I had God gave me some pretty cool skills in those areas, and I was able to do something pretty cool, growing 50% a year for many years on average.
So when you're talking to MSPs, and I know you do a lot of speaking outside of Marketopia as well, just to the channel in general, because they're technicians turned entrepreneurs, what should they be looking at? What's the first thing they should do when they start thinking about doing marketing? What's that number one thing they should start with?
It's probably not the answer you're trying to get me to get to, but I will tell you that one of the greatest travesties that I've found in our industry is that great people that deserve great things that deserve every dream that they have don't achieve them, and they end up mentioned sort of the lifestyle business. You kind of settle into that business that has 500,000 to 1.3 million in revenue, and they just basically created a job for themselves, and they never really achieve that goal. In fact, a lot of them get so busy kind of turning the cranks every day and working in the business that they don't step back and really keep the end in mind. So my first recommendation, probably the most important one of all, is to basically do what it takes to achieve your goals. What is the goal? What is our dream? What is it? What was when we started the business? What did we want to accomplish? Was it we wanted to create a job for themselves and we want a lifestyle business because we truly just love technology, or do we want to build a business worth 10 million and sell it? And if so, by what time, what day? So the most important thing I would say is to figure out first what that long-term goal is, and in terms of what you want your business to become and by when, and then back that into sort of an annual goal, annual plan, and say, okay, if my business is I want it to be worth 10 million in 10 years, and it's worth 1 million now. I need to add, $1 million a year in recurring revenue for it to be worth that. And then you take knowledge like that and then work with a marketing expert, a sales expert, and say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get the number of customers that I need to achieve that 1 million recurring per year? How many customers do I need? How many leads do I need? And then frankly, what do I do to get that number of leads? And so that exercise is to me the most important one for an entrepreneur to do, which is to turn that dream that they had, that goal that they had, into a plan with milestones and objectives and clearly defined goals on a short-term basis, and then go execute that plan.
So really, it's first of all getting the entrepreneur mindset, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you know the book, but The E-Myth by Michael Gerber.
Incredible
That's
book.
that's the book that did it for me. Like, because I am a technician turned entrepreneur, or a technician that had an entrepreneurial seizure, as he puts it, which I think is a great way to put it, right? Because we basically got frustrated for some reason and changed into, we decided to just take control and, put our lives in our own hands and start a business. And that's not necessarily, if you want to grow a business, it's not necessarily the way to start. And that's why a lot of us ended up with lifestyle businesses. So first, yeah, I think that mindset shift is probably, you're right. That's the first thing you have to do. And by the way, E-Myth by Michael Gerber, the best book to change that mindset. It shows you exactly how and why you should change that mindset so that you can get into a real entrepreneurial, way of working, and then a plan. And really, part of that is not